going to make a 5-minute recording on creating a bill of materials groups in our FIIX software by inputting, not importing, but inputting the data from our old MP2. I wish that it was possible to import this, but I cannot export what I need in order to go from MP2 in order to go to our new FIIX software. It doesn't do that. So I can't get that lined up correctly. So I either create a whole new spreadsheet to try to import by inputting a lot of data, or I just go straight to the source and just input it as I go. All right, let me show you what I'm talking about. Here on this section, I have our export from MP2 on Google Sheets. Now, in the middle here, this is what we call our Lawson numbers. This is the old part number, right? This is the old part description. And when I say old, because we have transitioned to a different financial software as well, all of our parts numbers changed. Simultaneously, so did all of the descriptions of those parts changed. Now, I have done some organization, like kind of, in the background in order to be able to make this work. And you'll kind of see what I've done as we go through, because I'm going to show you step by step how I create the bill of materials groups. It is input, it is just inputting the data. It's long, it's tedious, and I do it in my spare time. I keep these windows minimized so I can pop them open and work on it in between other things, right? So here goes. So this spreadsheet is from MP2. It has the equipment number, it has the part number, the part description, which really only need the equipment number and part number. All the way over here, I have opened my parts department in FIIX, and so you notice here in air compressors, in the air compressor section, waiting on the cloud. Here we go. We have our old Lawson number. You see that? That's my old part number. I put that in as a custom field way back when I did all of our parts, so that the parts in FIIX could be looked up by the old part number or the new part number. Okay, I did that so our bill of materials groups would coincide. All right, a little bit. So you have the code, which is also known as our DAX number, our current part number, and then the old Lawson number. Right? Okay. In the middle, right here, this is where I have our bill of materials groups. So I'm going to start a new bill of materials group, and the group name is going to be 10-44. All right, for us, 20-44, 30-44, and 40-44. That's kind of how it works here. Ideally, we should have 4 pieces of equipment that are identical with identical parts. It doesn't always work out that way, but that's just what I have to go with for right now until I know differently. All right, so I'm going to add my first part, and so I'm going to type in the old part number, which is 11370. When I type that in, this comes up. I'm going to put it in there. Right there she is, and it marked it out there, so I can't put it in again. I'm going to put in another one. All right, 11850. All right, let's see what comes up. There's one. Boop, just like that. Let's do another one. 11911. Boop, there. Oh, and see, now here's an issue, right? Which one is it? Because here in my bill of materials groups, you notice I do not have a column for old Lawson number because it won't allow me to do that, right? It won't allow me to do that. So what I have to do is go over here, right, in my parts department, and I'm going to type in that same number, 11911. There it is. You see that right there? 11911. That corresponds with 2199. So I go over here and I see that corresponds. Now that might have just seemed very confusing, and why was I just like, typing in the number? And if I know this, because I've got the old Lawson numbers in there, if my new part pops up and it's just one, it's with the old Lawson number 99% of the time, so I go ahead and put that in, right? And then if I have to check it, I have to go over here and double check sometimes, because that number may be somewhere else in the code or somewhere else in that part. So that's just how it's done. Now you'll see here I have several parts that go with this equipment, but just for this sake, I'm going to say okay, like I'm finished, as if I were finished with these 3 parts. I'm not done yet because I have to choose what assets that part goes with. Just to create the group does absolutely nothing. It's just data. This is where you connect it in assets. So I click on the assets bill of materials list, and I will then click in the equipment number 10-44, and when it comes up you see it's a spare. So now we do have some spare pieces of equipment, and in those cases, you know, I really don't put a lot with it, but if it came up as a conveyor or something like that, it would go right there. But basically I go, so I have 1044, and I'll do 20-44, right? And so forth, and then I'll click OK. So for that spare piece of equipment that apparently we're not using right now, at least there's some parts for it, right? That's how it works. You got any questions, put it in the comments. Thanks.